when do you guys decide that? Like, did you guys actually know you were going to do that even before 12 came out? Like, how do you figure that out?
We did, actually. We do have to plan it pretty far in advance because it takes a lot of work to go ahead and get all that great art together and to make those plans early on. So by the time 12 was coming out, Punk was already becoming a huge star. I mean, he had the big pipe bomb on that episode of Raw, and so that just obviously elevated him to more of a mass appeal type superstar. And so I think it made perfect sense for us to have him on the cover. I think
it definitely did. I think I told Corey at the time when the decision was made to go with Punk, because it was so early. I just said, man, I just hope he can maintain that momentum.
That the attitude that our superstars had back then.
Yeah.
He kind of portrays that same thing. So we felt, boy, having him on the cover with the attitude, it's a perfect combination.
It's a great juxtaposition of attitude from the past versus the new attitude in the WWE right now.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you mentioned Attitude Era. Perfect segue. Look at you. It's like you've done this before. All right. Let's talk about Attitude Era a little bit. Not only are we seeing Attitude Superstars, as we'll see them revealed in a little bit, but and actually you're probably watching some footage of Attitude Era Superstars right now, but single player, Attitude Era. Tell us a little bit about that.
Where do I begin?
Yeah, small topic.
We've overhauled our whole single-player story campaign this year.
Okay.
And the past couple of years, we did a Road to WrestleMania format that was really telling original stories that we've created with the WWE. We wanted to go a historic route and relive arguably the greatest era in all of WWE and wrestling history, the Attitude Era. That hasn't been revisited in 15 years. It had such great content and stories. And it's perfect because it brings back this nostalgia for fans that maybe obviously lived that area and watched that during that time and played those games. And also the new consumers that don't really know much about the Attitude Era. It serves as educational.
It's been a while. All three of us remember it really well.
Exactly.
But then I sit there and I'm like, that was 15 years ago. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Makes me feel old, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, for all of us.
We were really excited to bring that back. Actually, relive those matches as they happen in the order that they do happen.
Okay.
And so we cover these 2 years that are taking place during the Monday Night Wars, where WWE was going up against WCW, and they had some really contentious battles back and forth. We focus on the WWE side of those battles and have you relive those main storylines that were going on with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, DX, all those main stories. You're reliving those moments.
Great.
And so it's over 60 matches that you're playing through that mode.
So now you guys are trying to relive the Attitude Era, right? This isn't like the Attitude Era as reimagined by the player at home, right? It's like very faithful. Is that kind of what you guys are going for?
Very faithful. We wanted to do it justice, obviously, and be very authentic to that period. And so you're going to see a lot of WWE footage that kind of recaps some of the background stories that were going on. We have cool cutscenes of those events that were unfolding during that time as well. And then we have historic objectives that you're playing the matches, and we give you these objectives on a checklist that you're trying to check off and accomplish in the match.
Let's talk a little bit about that, actually, because I remember, one of the complaints that rose about it at WWE 12 was how you script a match and how much control the player is given versus, that sort of thing. Can you talk a little bit about balancing that and what you guys are doing for WWE 13?
Well,
I mean, go ahead, Brian.
Well, no, I mean, that was, one of the things that we definitely heard about for Road to WrestleMania last year. A lot of players felt that a lot of control was taken away from them, by playing these matches, and they felt like, I was doing so well, and all of a sudden, I'm losing. I just lost. It's like it just didn't really compute. So, what Corey's done with the Attitude Era mode is every match will play out a little bit differently, but we're still, like I said, we're maintaining that authenticity to the match that took place. But we have these bonus objectives that you can do to relive that match as it actually happened. But at the same time, we're still giving players the onus and responsibility of finishing the match on their own. Okay. So we're not getting, handcuffing them and saying, no, you are going to lose this in spite of whatever you've done leading up to the end of the match.
Right.
So
bring extra things in there. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys are getting around the fact that, in the core single-player mode, you guys are doing 2 years, but what else is there for people to discover, basically?
There's a ton to discover, and what's really great about the mode is that you're not just playing as one superstar throughout the whole thing.
Right.
You jump around, you actually play a lot of different superstars.
Right.
You're playing a lot of the main event storylines that were going on during that time, but we do cool bonus matches. We do matches that, hey, maybe you're playing an old SummerSlam matchup with The Undertaker, whoever it might be, but we had this bonus match that took place at the time.
And that unlocks, basically?
And that unlocks, if you're able to accomplish the objectives, you get that bonus match, you get to play with someone else, and you get that great content.
So by being faithful to the era of the time, you can actually unlock even more things for you to sort of explore from that era.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, cool.
And we have over 100 unlockables in the story campaign, which is a ton.
That's a lot.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot. Definitely more than we had last year.
Yeah, it's a ton in there, and depending on if you're accomplishing these hidden objectives, you get those unlockable. So it's really fun experience.
I gotcha. So, I mean, Attitude Era, there's one man that sort of symbolizes the Attitude Era. We talk about CM Punk as sort of the modern era, but you guys actually have a second cover athlete, basically, this time around. Tell me about Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is our collector's edition cover athlete.
Okay.
It's a really cool collector's edition.
It's very cool.
You get bonus in-game content. You get an alternate attire. You get a cool entrance where he came out on his ATV, which is really awesome.
You also get Iron Mike Tyson.
That's right, Iron Mike Tyson. And then the collector's edition comes with a autographed picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is, I mean, it's hand autographed.
Yeah.
He spent a little bit of time doing that, I imagine.
Yeah. Like 25,000 he had autographed, so I'm sure he was getting some cramps in his hands there. But
up the ante, change presentation, that sort of stuff.
Right.
Well, yeah, I'll take this one. Well, every year, we always look to up the visual fidelity of the in-game graphics. I mean, our character models always look amazing, and I don't think I have a big head in saying that. So every year, we look to refine and refinements to not only just the in-game graphics, but like you said, the sound, to really make the slams on the mat sound as bone crunching as they do on WWE programming. And I think we've done a markedly better job this year of enhancing both of those attributes in the game. So I mean, the game, it looks more refined. It sounds more like you would expect when you watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. So I think both of those areas are definitely a step up compared to WWE 12.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about the presentation in terms of replays and that sort of stuff, and kind of, you guys are trying to kind of more recreate the TV experience. Is that kind of what you guys are going for this year?
That's always our goal.
Always our goal. We try to do that every year.
Yeah, we want you to do a double take and you're seeing the game and it looks like television. We're really trying to accomplish that. So we added a replay system that happens after big moments.
Okay.
We have the spectacular moments, which are these really cool, kind of awe-inspiring moments that happen in past WWE matches, like a ring collapse or a suplex outside the ring, or being able to slam someone through the crowd barricade. A lot of those cool moments are in
catch finishers, which are one of my personal favorites.
Yep, absolutely. And it's not just the animations themselves and doing the moves. It's the audio that backs them up. We have some really great commentary calls by Michael Cole and
the King.
Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. We have all new crowd in the game that we've actually taken from WWE television and put in the game. So it sounds really authentic. So it's a complete, like you mentioned, visual and audio experience in the game.
So tell me a little bit more about these sort of like these memorable moments or the OMG moments.
OMG moments.
How does that work when I'm actually playing a match? Like, is it an in-game prompt, or am I doing like some sort of like finishing move combination of buttons or something like that? Like, how does that all play out in a match?
It's all very very simple. It's when you have a stored finishing icon, and it basically opens up the possibilities of you being able to perform these spectacular moments, OMG moments.
Okay.
For example, the barricade break. If you have a stored finisher, you can Irish whip your opponent into that corner barricade, and just by having that finisher, you'll see the prompt, the OMG prompt on the screen. It's as simple as pressing the Y button to perform your finisher, and you can plow, the defender right through the barricade. Nice. The same for the catch finishers. As long as you have a finisher in your possession, you can intercept a springboard attack, a top rope dive, by pressing it again. It's a time sequence. You have to be, right on the money with it.
Sure.
Press the finisher button, snatch the opponent out of midair, and hit him with. I was going to say almost spoiled the roster reveal. But you can hit him with a very cool finishing move. I'll just leave it at that.
All right, cool. Well, who knows? Maybe they're seeing on the live stream who you're talking about right now. But we'll see.
We'll see.
So can everybody do every memorable moment? Or, I mean, can you talk a little bit about sort of the customization? I mean, the ring collapse, right?
Right.
That was like Big Show Mark Henry. So, I mean, like, am I going to see Christian collapsing a ring when he falls on it or something like that?
We want it to be authentic. I mean, those are limited to the super heavyweights that do the ring collapse in particular.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those that are, the smaller superstars that aren't
light heavyweights,
we have the suplex outside the ring when you do whip them into that corner. So there's a different moment that's presented to different superstars. And same thing goes for the announcer table OMG moments. There's different finishers that are pulled off on the announcer table. I think everyone can pull off the crowd barricades.
Everybody can, yeah. We have different animations, though, depending on the weight class of the attackers. So,
interesting.
So
there's variety in there for sure, depending on who you're playing.
All right. Cool. Let's talk a little bit
raw footage. I mean, raw audio that they're able to give to us. They have crowd chants. They have sound effects because they have mics all throughout the arena that they're capturing. So we were able to get all that stuff. It was just a total dump. We were able to put all that stuff in there, and it has a really authentic sound in the game. You'll be surprised, and you're going to notice the difference from W12 to W13.
Oh, yeah, it's night and day, especially in terms of the crowd chants.
Interesting.
I mean, it's cool when you boot up, you just go right into a match with CM Punk and you hear the crowd chanting his name right off the bat, you know. And all that was taken from programming.
That's awesome.
And last year, I mean, I think we got like 150 people in a warehouse doing our chants. So you kind of got that feeling that it doesn't really sound like. But now you have, it sounds like a live.
It's the real deal.
People inside an arena.
It's the difference between 150 people in a warehouse and a people in a Staples Center, basically.
We took a lot of crowds actually from that. Remember that Raw right after WrestleMania?
Right.
That crowd was just raucous.
It
was a live. That was like one of the best crowds that they've had at Raw in a long time.
Yeah.
So we took quite a bit of chance from crowd.
Great collaboration. I mean, we couldn't be happier with the involvement that we have with the WWE, and they kind of just opened the doors for us and welcomed us in, and been a great partner, I think.
And you were talking about presentation earlier, and just us trying to doing our job of mimicking what you see on programming, like all the number one contender graphics, the title graphics that occur on those transitions when they have title matches on programming.
Right.
All of that stuff we get from the WWE, and it's as simple as us just requesting it from them, and they're more than happy to oblige and send us whatever. It's nuts, man.
We have a very sophisticated tool that allows you to look at all the different states and how they transition into them, and it's extremely complicating. And the more we add to the game, the more it just opens up.
Yeah, it branches
that
open.
Crazy web of animations that can happen. But it's important to have that because we want you to feel like anything can happen, and we want you to transition from state to state to state smoothly.
Right.
So it's important to have that complex system in there, and we have that, and we have really gifted designers that are able to go through there and fine-tune all that.
Exactly. I was just going to say.
Flawlessly.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not here with us today, but one of our other designers on the project, Jason Van Diver, he's been doing a fantastic job, like you said, of going through and really spot-checking all those crazy instances because our game is so big and there's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need somebody to go in there and kind of test everything out and make sure that, hey, if I do this, I mean, I expect this to happen, but is it?
Right.
And if it's not, we got to get that fixed.
And there's some things you can't plan for. Some crazy dive off a ladder that hits someone in mid-transition. What happens in that state?
What do you do right there?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So, I know one of the things when we were talking about game.
That's something that was in the games previously back when it was called just SmackDown.
Right.
Being able to assign, finishers before you headed into a match.
Yeah, right.
We wanted to bring that back just because, we felt, it's just a fun thing to do. You obviously had a fun time.
It's really fun.
It's a handicapper too. I mean,
it is.
You can set in only 2 finishers. You'll start with 2 finishers, and that can be your handicap against me. And it's a cool way to.
It's a cool way to set up a challenge for yourself. So we've added that. The whole match experience option that we've added in the game this year.
Very cool. Yeah.
Everybody likes to play our games differently.
Sure.
Some people want those long epic matches that you would see. The Triple H versus Undertaker. Long, just grueling matches that'll take you 30, 40 minutes.
Right.
And then some guys just want to get in, be able to get to their finisher, their signatures really quick, and just get in and out.
Right.
So the match experience is another option that gives players the ability.
I mean, these are different games a long time ago, but we would deliberately do that. Be like, I'm not ready to kill you yet.
Exactly. I've done that. Yeah. I've done that.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit. So the thing is that with WWE 13, it's a huge game. You guys are rolling out information gradually, obviously.
Yep.
But everyone, when you go, anybody have any questions? Everyone's like, oh, ask them about Universe Mode. Right. Universe Mode is back. I know there's only so much you can say, but broadly speaking, let's talk about Universe Mode a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Universe Mode is an extremely popular mode.
Very
It's not going anywhere.
Right.
We made a lot of great improvements this year. And like you mentioned, we're not detailing out what those improvements are.
Yeah.
And we just try to keep the momentum sustained. We
Right.
don't want to just throw out everything and then there's no other details coming up until launch. So we spread those out, and so Universe is going to come out pretty soon with the details about what we changed. But I want fans to know that we didn't neglect it at all. We had a lot of cool
You didn't take it
improvements.
out. But tell me a little bit about your sort of like vision for Creative Suite. More, basically?
Absolutely.
Yeah, more. I like that.
I don't think there's any shortage of ideas that we have when it comes to the creation
none.
suite.
None.
We have a lot of cool ideas that we want to start to roll out in the future. And so fans will be able to see some of that as we start talking about the create modes for WWE 13.
Okay.
We have some news that we're going to be presenting later tonight that will eventually start to trickle out, and people will find out about one of the more popular create modes.
Yeah, real excited though about what we have to offer for this year for our create suites.
Awesome.
I mean, it's our games. I've said this before, but our game is like 2 games in one.